bed bros.
The bunk bed bros. I never had a bunk bed growing up.
I did.
And that makes me sad.
It was awesome.
I believe it.
I don't think I ever had a bunk bed.
That's a question for our listeners. Are bunk beds better than regular beds? As a kid.
As a kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
I think
so
you're
much
just in
room
love
for
with
activities.
Yeah, exactly. That you're in love with the idea of sleeping on an elevated platform.
This makes sense. This is logical.
Yeah. This has been Bunk Bed Chat with What the Fanboy.
No, you
From
gotta
the
say
bunk
that-
bed bros.
You gotta say that a little more quietly. This has been
Bunk Bed Chat.
Bunk Bed Chat.
And then we can do bunk bed
Bunk
bros
bed.
after dark.
With the Bunk Bed Boys.
What's
No.
that mean?
Welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show, which is what we actually are.
The Bunk Bed Bros.
I
Put
guess
it on
we're
a
going with
t-shirt.
the Bunk Bed Bros tonight. Baroque and Roller says that he did not care for it personally.
You're not a bunk bed bro. It's okay, man. It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good.
We'll welcome you with open arms when you change your opinion.
It's just because he never had any of us to bunk with.
That's true.
I had a bunk bed in college.
Also true.
We all had bunk beds in college.
Yeah.
'Cause
Unless you
we
live
all
in
went to the same
I guess sometimes. Sometimes we just each would loft.
Oh.
Very convenient for activities, aka homework.
I love this activity. Super vague.
Who
with your
scored the
activities.
Eagles touchdown for
Swift.
I think that's good for my parlay.
T Swift. She's playing for the Eagles now? Oh no.
Yes, DeAndre.
Breaking news. Taylor Swift now plays for the Eagles.
I mean, she grew
On the
up an
Monday
Eagles
night game
fan.
against her boyfriend.
That would be awesome.
That would be hilarious.
I mean, I feel like anybody could really take advantage of the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line.
I mean, yeah.
I definitely had to think about that when you said it because I was like, their O-line's good. Then I was saying, oh, you mean
Like Taylor
behind
Swift,
it. Yeah.
they create a hole for her and she just busts through the seam. How's my football lingo?
It's not great, but it's not bad either. It's
Keep
better
it in
than,
between the numbers or something?
It's been better. It's better than what I've heard from others. So
It's
you have that
better
going
than
for
what
you.
you'd get from me, so.
That
Yeah.
was a terrible throw.
This week we are going to be reviewing Blue Eye Samurai, giving our Monarch first 2 episode impressions, and I'll be talking about Loki a little later, and we got some good news. But before then, I'm going to send it over to Luke with the trailers, the list of trailers. What we got this week, Luke?
Just 3. And they're all bangers. The first one is what we can talk about is Aquaman 2. I think this movie looks fun. I don't know if it'll be good. We'll see. It's the end of an era. I'm just kind of ready to move on.
We'll get some cool underwater stuff.
Yeah.
That's about my expectation for
Yeah.
it.
Black Manta looks cool.
Yep.
So-
I agree.
Yeah, I think if they can match what they did with the first one, I'll be happy. And it looks like that's what they're going to be aiming for. So that's all I need it to be. I never anticipated an Aquaman movie to be super deep, especially not when you cast Jason Momoa. It doesn't need to be cinema. It needs to be a good time. And it probably will be.
Mm-hmm.
Make me eat snacks.
Snacks. Next one is What If Season 2, or as I like to call it, What If Season 1 was actually good? All right.
Yeah, this trailer's dumb. Like the commentary throughout the trailer's dumb. Like it tries to make itself feel bigger and more important than it actually is. Which I think is kind of the bad part about What If is it's trying to be something that it doesn't need to be.
Season 1 was, I thought it was kind of clever when it became self-aware. I didn't love it, but like that's new. Maybe not in comic book movie land when you have something like not Daredevil, Deadpool. But this, yeah, it felt like rather than a fun anthology of things, it was okay. Now we're gonna serialize this.
Yeah,
and that's not what I want What If to be.
Correct. I'm with you there.
Hot take.
Not really.
Okay.
Not here. At least.
not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like season 1. I think the biggest problem with just What If in the MCU is you're restricted to MCU.
Yeah,
and
what
they
you
hadn't
can
done
use.
anything with Mutants or Fantastic Four, and you're just cutting yourself off from so much. And
Well, like Michael Douglas does not sound like a young man. I don't care what you do.
I'm Ant-Man.
Just
Sound like Ant-Man has been smoking for 30 years.
That's that's a 30-year-old's face, but not a 30-year-old's voice. I don't care what kind of modulation they're doing. It doesn't work.
They should just get AI to do it.
Ooh, no. Ooh, buddy. Whoa.
No.
Slow down,
Pump those
buddy.
brakes. Pump those brakes.
I thought the trailer looked good. I thought there was cool stuff in it. The good thing is it's anthology, so it's really episode to episode.
Yeah.
So I'll watch it, even though
There's still
season 1 was
potential.
a lot of missteps in my opinion.
I didn't think this trailer felt like it was going to be an anthology, though. It felt like it was being a more, here's a 9-episode story.
Oh, about Multiverse Avengers or something?
Yeah.
Because, like, you have T'Chaka and Ant-Man and that group doing stuff, and it looks like they're kind of jumping through all the different things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I never finished season 1.
You
Thought
didn't even finish it?
I thought it was bad, so I just stopped watching it. I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm straight up not having a good time. That's how I felt watching it. So I don't know.
This one's not doing it for you.
Are you out there having a good time? No.
I don't remember where I ended up being on season 1 when we reviewed it. So if anyone goes back and like fact checks me, fine, whatever. But like I haven't ever felt like I need to rewatch it. I want to rewatch it, even as an anthology. I haven't been like, oh yeah, like that. Like that Doctor Strange episode was great. I'm gonna go like I think that was maybe one of my favorites, but I still am not like, yeah.
It's kind of what we said when it came out.
I gave it a straight to streaming.
It's kind of what we said when it came out, but like Star Wars Visions is what If should have been.
Yeah.
And they just completely missed that mark.
It was my lowest ranked show from whatever year that was. 2021. It was number 30 of 30. Ooh, guess I forgot about it, honestly.
What's the last trailer?
Listen, guys. We've been blessed to live in this time and talk about what is going to be the Madam Web movie and part of the Sony Venom Morbius not actually Spider-Man universe.
Craven. Don't forget Craven.
Ben Parker cinematic
I already did.
universe.
Yeah, the Ben Parker universe.
This trailer only took 5 seconds to become a meme.
Oh, yeah.
And I found that incredible. This has got to be potentially the worst movie ever made coming out.
I can't believe it's still coming out. Did they film it through the strike?
No. Surely
No.
It was done prior?
Yeah.
Okay. It just looks so bad.
I can't believe they've been sitting on it and just been like,
right.
this is good enough to just...
Well,
this is
so-
January written all over it.
I think that's a great statement though for what these Sony Spidey movies have been is like it's good enough in their eyes, so they're like we'll put it out and it'll make some money and we'll call it good.
When they don't realize that everybody's making fun of them.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're talking about us.
The CEOs don't care.
I was gonna say as long as it's putting butts in seats, I think they're just happy with whatever. It's mind-boggling. Like I watched this trailer and I'm just like the line deliveries in this trailer
Hey,
are
guys,
bad.
good news.
It looks bad.
The CW shows may be going away,
But
but
they're-
they're still
they're
CW
alive and well.
quality.
They are alive and well within Sony's department.
I think it was Paul Tassi
Yeah,
put
he-
CW logos on all the screen captures, and he's like, guys, I fixed it. Now it looks normal.
Yeah.
But like, we were texting, and I was telling you, I was like, this looks like a fake movie.
Yeah, it looks like fan made. Yeah.
And yet, like I said, what I said was, it looks like something a TikToker would make. Just be like, yo, I'm really excited for the Spider-Verse stuff. Here's a fan trailer I made. And it's, if a fan trailer, or a fan does it, it's like, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's super creative. You're using, like, pre-made stuff and splicing audio together. Fantastic.
Yep.
When you make a $100 million movie, maybe less, maybe more, God, please don't be more. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I honestly feel really bad for anybody who
worked
has
on
their
it.
name on this.
Yeah, it looks awful, and like I'd watched the trailer with like low sound and then watched it again later because I was very confused why there was somebody in a Spider-Man outfit, but Spider-Man doesn't exist in this movie or in this world yet.
Multiverse, baby.
And then someone told me it's because the villain, I guess, is somebody who can see the future, much like Madam Web can, and he's trying to prevent Peter from being born.
Wait. So they're doing the cliche thing of having the
villain's
villain
trying
and
to
the hero
prevent-
has the same power?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Awesome.
Don't know if that's true.
Not
or
that
not,
that's like
but-
a bad thing, but you just see it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 100% true, but I heard that that's what he was doing. I was very confused why he was in a spider outfit when there's no Spider-Man.
It will be very
It's
interesting
just so weird.
to see how this movie does.
Venom did well.
Venom did well, but guess what? That grossed 856 million worldwide. Venom 2 grossed 500 million worldwide. You want to guess how much Morbin Time grossed worldwide?
I think it was 100 billion more bucks, according to Wikipedia.
Which
Which
is
is
close to like
vaguely-
250 million.
Vaguely close to 162 million.
Dude, remember when they like put it back in theaters because they thought like people were memeing it, so they thought people were gonna go see it, and then they put it in. It made like what did it make like $10,000 or something like that.
Look, you just don't have. I don't think you have the star power to make this work. These kinds of films, I think Venom works because of, well, more or less Tom Hardy.
Even though he doesn't work in the role, he's a big
he
enough
doesn't work in
name.
the role. Yeah, exactly. But like Leto did not do anything for Morbius, and
No.
I'm sorry, I don't think fans of Dakota Johnson are gonna be like, I'm gonna go see the new superhero movie. Which this is, I think, my prediction here is that this is a superhero movie in the third act and the third act only.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long sentence. There's a lot there. Do we need to unpack this?
No, we're just
Wow.
gonna keep it moving.
Somehow
Yeah.
Palpatine was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders just before she
It's a
died.
great
I
new
absolutely
meme.
love. Yeah, I
Great
loved
new
that
meme.
this came like popped off.
He was there, Gandalf. He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders just before she died. Oh, it's too good, man.
I mean, I think
This movie's gonna make so much money just because it looks so horrible, and it kind of pisses me off.
I think the movie may be financially okay because it probably was shot with like $100 million budget.
Shot on iPhone?
If that. Like Venom 2 was 110.
You know what would be the best thing for
And
this
that's
movie?
that's a super CGI heavy
Right,
film.
right. And this one seems to be a little bit less.
Absolutely.
You know what the best thing for this movie would be? Is if it came out to a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm not kidding. Like, I think more people would go see it out of curiosity if it reviews extremely bad.
Remember what my prediction was when both this movie and Craven were supposed to come out this year?
Uh-uh.
It was that both those movies would be under 15%.
Dude, it might be the best thing for them.
And now neither of them are coming out, and I probably would have been right.
Just recycle it for next year, baby.
Yeah, just keep it on the list.
No, it doesn't feel as earned
Ah.
because we've seen trailers now. That
That's
was
true.
before anything.
That was
I know, yeah, but
pre-trailer.
you're keeping as long as you're not changing it. I mean, this in the spirit of what it is. I
How
think
is
it's
that
still
going to
accurate.
compete with Christopher Nolan is going to make a movie with Tom Cruise on the moon though?
You can go. You can do both.
No, I don't do those boring
It's all about
predictions
balance.
anymore.
It's
No,
all
no,
about
no, no.
balance.
I'm going so hard on predictions next year. People are going to hear them and be like, "This dude is an idiot," and I am, but I'm okay with it. Tom Cruise on the moon, baby.
So I mentioned Dakota Johnson fans, but over in the chat, Baroque's saying that he just likes looking at Dakota Johnson. I didn't think about those kinds of fans.
Well, that's why 50 Shades of Grey is there.
Maybe that's enough to kind of push this over the
The line.
line of at least it's it makes money.
I mean, if you think of who they casted in this movie, they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah,
Dakota
yeah.
Johnson and what's her name? Sydney
Sweeney.
Sweeney?
Mhm.
Yeah, her. Like, what they were doing.
Yeah.
They're banking on people thinking they're attractive and people going to see that movie.
Just nothing in this trailer screams like, come watch this for the attractive people. It was a dark and stormy night.
This movie's so serious about clairvoyance. No, it's not.
Like, there's the shot in the Batman trailer when Pattinson like pulls off his mask, and you're like, okay, yeah, I get why people are attracted to him. Like, I don't get that with I'm like, yeah, Dakota Johnson's like a cute face.
Well, just wait
She's
till
pretty.
But like
she takes off the mask and she's the old version. And you're like,
well, all right. None of us are excited about it. All of us will probably end up seeing it.
It's like morbid curiosity more
Yeah.
than anything.
That's
but
fair.
yes.
That's fair.
well, the last Sony non-Spider-Man universe movie that I saw, I fell asleep and had a great little nap in.
Dude, that's right. We woke up and we're like, how'd we get here?
Only time I've ever fallen asleep in theater. Thank you, Morbius.
I just remember waking up and they were underground. I was like, what?
Look, these days Tyler needs all the napping opportunities he can get.
Hey, we just won't see it in IMAX,
Yeah.
so it'll be free.
Wait, where?
It's a free nap.
Where is this like Tyler needs sleep narrative coming from?
Oh, you're a dad. You're tired all the time.
You got a new baby.
She sleeps great. She doesn't even wake up at night.
I don't believe you.
You said you woke up at 4:30 the other day. I know you're tired.
That's when I go to the gym.
Yeah, that's stupid. You should
No wonder
sleep.
you're so tired. You're going to the gym.
Who needs gym when you can sleep?
Who is this guy named Jim, and what's he doing to you at 4:30 in the morning?
I'm gonna beat him up so Tyler can sleep.
No. That defeats the purpose.
All right.
Of not sleeping?
No, of getting
Sleep.
up to go to the gym.
Sleep is healthy.
I go to bed early. I go to bed at like 9:30.
Not tonight, you're not.
Yeah, probably
This is
not.
a 4-hour show, baby.
Sweet Jesus.
Luke and I are going to go into an immense amount of detail for this next section.
Hey, I can talk about it a little bit too.
Our Blue Eye Samurai review. This was kind of a sleeper show for me. I wasn't even aware this came out.
I saw somebody tweet about it.
I saw some tweets from people that I knew that were like, "Oh, this is kind of hype."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "All right."
And I happened to be in Netflix at the moment, so I just backed out of the show I was watching, went to it, and added it to my list.
Yeah.
Went back into it, but
Yeah, and then I had been kind of stuck at home on my cast and binged the crap out of it, and was immediately like,
you texted
all
us.
have to watch this."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because you texted us, and then I was like, huh. So I looked up like a trailer or whatever
Mm-hmm.
on Netflix and watched it, and I was like, huh.
Mm.
Yep.
I never watched a trailer for it. I just watched it. It had Luke will like this written all over it.
Oh
so
yeah. Oh yeah.
Some things are easy.
So I know
Or
Tyler's
I'm
seen the
easy.
first 2 episodes. Luke and I have finished. So Tyler, why don't you start off giving your impressions of just kind of the opening, the first act of the show?
I think it's just it draws you in very quickly with characters you'll care about right away. And I think it sets up kind of a collision course for 2 really good storylines, very effectively. There's some good jokes, good humor, great fighting, great music. It's just I can't say anything bad about it. Like, there's not one thing in this show that I saw and I was like, I don't really like that. Like, at this point, if it ended now, like if I was done watching it, it's a booyah and probably my favorite thing I've watched this year. Like, it's
Just after 2 episodes.
that's 2 episodes in.
Wow.
Like, it's so quick to like hook you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The hard part for me is, as we've joked about, I have 2 little kids. It is not for younger
It is
audiences.
very much an MA.
It's very graphic. There is a lot of blood, nudity, gore,
Which you're not expecting
Language.
from an animated
language.
show.
Yeah, there's some language. It is very much for an adult audience. So be mindful of that, because we are talking about an animated show.
Mm-hmm.
But it's full frontal nudity for both genders. It is all over the map, but it is a really, really good show, and I think it's worth checking out if you're even remotely interested, or if you're just looking for something new to watch, and this is kind of up your alley. I'd say yes, watch it.
It has such good atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things I sometimes struggle with. I think that the good and like the best animes do it really well.
Yeah.
But sometimes in anime, I feel like it can atmosphere can be a struggle. I'm mostly thinking back to like the serialized things that it's the same blue sky, flat plain, like it's a place but it's not a world. And this really feels like a world that's well lived in, and it's unique. This is set in Edo, Japan. Edo,
Japan.
Edo, kind of the
Edo,
is
Edo?
the time frame,
Yeah.
not a place, but it may also be a place. But
I think it's the
time
name
frame.
of the city.
Okay.
Because I think they even
So
say
kind
it's
of the ruling city, right?
the biggest city in all of Japan. I think they say.
Yeah. So 17th century. So I think it, like Tyler said, it does everything well. Characters, they give you just enough mystery with who your protagonist is, and they sprinkle out those answers along the way. And when you finally get all of the information, it's so satisfying. And it makes sense why they are the way that they are. And the secondary characters, like you said, there's who's Ringo?
Ringo is great.
Ringo is great. He's a fantastic kind of comical foil for the protagonist.
Even like
Peaches?
a side of a conscience for
Yeah. Yep. He's not just a comedic relief, but he also does offer up a viewpoint that someone who is kind of hell bent on revenge can often miss. Same with not the same, but Tegan is another character who I think like Tyler was referring to. There's kind of these two storylines, right? And when they come together, it's just done so well, and it's fun to see them interact with each other as characters. And I'm talking for a while. Luke, give me your thoughts.
So Tyler kind of said it earlier. He was 2 episodes in. He said it was his favorite show. This is the best show of the year so far, I think.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if anything was going to surpass The Last of Us. But I've also seen The Last of Us in 2014 when I played it. This was a brand new thing. So it's just going to have the edge there. And just every second of it is just magnificent art.
Yep.
The animation, the voice acting, just brilliant. It's like one step away from being a masterpiece. There's one little thing I don't like in it, and it's at the end. Me and Brett will have to talk about that another time.
We will.
But
is it with how one of the storylines wraps up? I'm curious. Just can you vaguely give
it's
me
a decision somebody makes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're locked in from the first scene.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all I could think about. It's like I need to finish this show. And the other character we haven't talked about, there's 3 main storylines. The other one is, I don't remember her name, but she's the princess.
Princess Akemi.
The Princess Akemi, yeah. Her storyline was very interesting.
Yeah.
The way she just takes control of the situation, I think is so cool. And to see how all 3 of those characters just react so differently to things is so interesting. And she goes on her own little journey
of self-discovery.
Yeah.
A good show, good characters are sometimes only as good as their villain, and you really haven't met the villain. I don't think.
I think
yet.
I've seen him, but he hasn't had any moments. I don't think
he is incredibly menacing. The Irishman, voiced by Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, so maybe not then. I feel like he was sitting on a couch in a scene.
You may have seen a silhouette of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
was one thing I was going to point out. The cast for this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's insanely good.
And incredibly talented. Some names that people may recognize. There's like George Takei, Brenda Song, Randall Park, Kenneth Branagh, Stephanie Sue. I don't remember. I don't know how to. Sue?
Stephanie Shu?
Shu?
HSU?
Yeah, Stephanie Shu.
Erskine.
She was so good.
Isn't she?
She's the main.
Yeah, but isn't she
girl.
gonna be in the Prime Mr. and Miss Smith show?
Yeah, she's Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been busy.
So, yeah, a stacked cast, a great story, good pacing, good locations. Every episode is like worthy of its own. Like nothing feels like filler.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one episode that kind of takes place in like it kind of feels like a fetch quest, but they do such a good job of making it feel more than just a go do this and get this piece of information, right? There's strategy behind why characters are trying to get information from and about things and other people. The ending of that episode is like horrifying and beautiful, and then it leads into like this insane fight scene at the beginning of the next episode. Maybe through most of it, I don't know. There was it episode like 5 or 6.
I don't even remember. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
So in the town, Mizu has to go infiltrate the crime lord's castle and perform a task, or not a castle.
Oh, the
but
tower.
The tower and
The tower climb.
No, yeah, no.
That's like episode 7.
No, it's not the tower climb. The tower climb is freaking awesome.
That episode was nuts.
No, it's the one where she has to. It's 4. It's peculiarities. It's when she's in the brothel and she's learning about things, and then she has to go find the person that Madame Kaiji tells her to go do something with.
I really liked the structure of that episode.
Yeah,
because it like starts in the middle and goes to the end and then goes to the beginning.
But it like
ends in the middle.
And then it leaves you on a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
and then the next one is that whole like it splits kind of back into 2 storylines where Akemi is learning the tale of the Ronin and the bride, and Mizu is doing her thing. And then we learn all about...
And she can do a lot of things.
She can do a lot of things.
Very capable.
And then we learn a lot about backstory. I think you mentioned before, I think 5 is maybe my favorite episode.
The Bride...
Yeah.
Samurai Bride episode?
Yeah.
It was like torture in the best way.
Yep.
We always love that.
If that makes sense.
Good torture.
It's just such a full episode of everything you love about TV and film.
Yep. Agreed. So Luke, you're ranking this A.
It's a booyah, easy.
It's easily a booyah. I like what Tyler kind of prefaced earlier. It is very much an MA show.
Kind of makes Game of Thrones look tame.
It does. It really does. So be aware of that when you listen to our recommendations. But if you are able to handle stomach, if you're able to maturely process those things, absolutely a recommendation from me. So. Dope.
I'd recommend it at 2 episodes in. It's really good.
I'm honestly just waiting for a dead time where I can watch it again.
It's funny, like I finish an episode and I know I'm not going to watch another one, so I go look at the more like this. So I'm like, is there anything else like this out there? It's so good.
There is not. Well, something else that at least Luke and I have been watching is...
You didn't watch Monarch?
I did.
Okay, you did?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me.
This guy is just like, oh, he's a dad with 2 kids. He obviously doesn't have time.
I don't know what it's
what
like
are
to
these
be...
weird dad assumptions he's been having this entire
I don't know.
episode?
He just keeps assuming
this freaking guy.
It's not like he didn't text us and said, hey, so Monarch's going to be one of our main topics, right? And it's like, okay, cool. Let me make time to watch that. Weird. It's weird how that works.
Freaking guy, man.
Fair enough. All right. We also watched the first 2 episodes of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I'm just going to call it Monarch because that subtitle is too long. We'll give some impressions here. Tyler, you want to start us off?
Sure. the I didn't write anything down. Usually I write something down, but I'll just say like I enjoy it. I enjoy it for what it is. It's nothing earth shattering, but I do appreciate that it's more in line with the 2014 Godzilla and Kong Skull Island.
Same time period too.
Yeah, and I just really like that we're bouncing between those two kind of stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's weird coming from Blue Eye Samurai to this. Like you have something that you watch and you're like, oh my gosh, and then you watch this and you're like, okay, this is good. It's setting up some interesting stuff, but it's not like earth shattering.
Yeah.
But I do really like it, and I'm excited to tune into it every week. Really looking forward to seeing where it goes. I think it leaves you on a pretty cool little cliffhanger.
Yeah, agreed. The end of the second episode is like, okay.
It also gives me a question, but we can unpack that later if we want.
Fair enough. Luke, what did you think?
I've really enjoyed it so far. I really like all the characters in both timelines. I think the Lindbergh situation they got going on with the half brother, half sister.
Oh,
I think that's really unique.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool.
That was not what I expected.
Yeah.
Like when she opened the door.
Yeah.
It's like she's gonna open the door and find all this monster stuff. Nope, it's secret family. It's like
that you have a sibling. I was like, whoa! Wowzers!
I really like that. I love all the stuff I'm getting in the past.
Dude, the past stuff's really good.
With young John Goodman and the scientist lady. And honestly, the coolest thing about this show is the decision to cast both Russells.
Yeah.
That is
For Lee,
genius on another level. And I'm so glad that somebody did it.
Yep. I agree.
And I think it's funny because now you're going to be like, somebody's going to have an idea and be like, what parent child combo can we also do?
Yeah.
Who else is out there? And I feel like you're going to kind of see that pop up every once in a while.
So I do have a question about the young John Goodman character. And I think I just solved it on my own. Randa.
Bill Randa?
Yeah. Because
Anders Holm?
Yeah. The Workaholics guy.
Mm-hmm.
The brother. What's the brother's name in the present day? His name is Kentaro. His last name is Randa.
Yep.
So
are you needing a lineage?
Yeah.
Randa married girl scientist.
Yes.
They had kids.
Correct.
Or they had the father, and then he had two secret families.
Right.
One in Tokyo and one in San Francisco.
I guess I just didn't realize Dad was a Randa. It didn't occur to me that she does say it's my grandma, and it just didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't click in place when she said it. But okay, cool, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, there are a lot of Randas, and the fact that there's like two families they're.
And the one character who
is called Legacy of Monsters.
Yeah, and the one character that goes by Randa is like a super generic white guy.
Right.
And then like this whole family of Japanese
and then you got
people,
Kentaro
and
and Kate.
Yeah, it's like there's just so much to keep up with. But no, like I'm with you, Luke. I think it's really good. It's really fun.
Yeah, I think that the first two episodes didn't wow me. It is very quickly. It starts off with a lot of time jumping. You do have to pay attention, but if you're paying attention, I think you'll feel rewarded for it.
Yeah.
The little twists here and there, like you said, with what Kate discovers, and the additional family. That's an interesting dynamic that you don't see too often. The backstory stuff, the flashback, the history, the earlier timeline is really cool, and so far we haven't gotten much of Kurt, but like Wyatt has been fantastic, and I'm just hoping that Kurt as older Russell can. He's a fantastic actor.
His little scene where he's talking to the army captain or whatever. And I felt like he was giving Captain America lines.
Yeah.
Except I actually believed him in this way.
I still especially in this, I've kind of brought him up as like an Oliver Queen kind of thing, but like he's got the hair and stuff going. I was like, yeah, he can do it. He'd be good. But yeah, his Captain America scene is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
It works really well. I also want to point out something too that really stuck out to me, and I don't know if this is a Monarch thing or if this is a directorial thing or what it is, but I forgot how good Kiersey Clemons is because she's not good in the Flash movie, but in this she's really good. I like her a lot.
I feel bad for her because she was cast as Iris forever ago.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know if she just didn't get a lot because that was just always hanging there.
Or
she
it
probably
just
had to
changed
film
a
it like
million
8
times.
times.
Yeah.
And so I feel like she kind of disappeared. Like it was dope. The movie Dope. Great movie, by the way. And then she was cast as Iris, and then so much time went by, that movie was in hell. And then, yeah, here she is again. Yeah, she's awesome.
So good in this. And it's just like, oh yeah, that's why we were all so fired up for her to play Iris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were really excited about it. And it was just nice to see that. It's nice to see good performance from somebody who came off of a movie that just didn't do very well.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
But no.
Proves there's talent there.
Love I think right now I'm just loving the flashback stuff so much.
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued by it all.
Mm-hmm.
I love how the show looks, too.
Yeah, it looks good.
All the monsters we've seen, and they show a lot of monsters. I think.
Yeah,
look
we've
really
seen
good.
what, like 4 so far?
They've shown Godzilla a lot. It's
Yeah.
all from the Godzilla.
There's
movie.
some
not the exact shot.
Sure.
But it's
It's the
from
flashback
that-
to San Francisco.
Yeah. And I think that's also something really cool. This movie takes place before Godzilla 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like the world hasn't gone yet.
Yeah.
Still a little more secrecy going on.
I love the Godzilla evacuation plan scene. I thought that was really cool too. It's just kind of giving you like, hey, this is where we are now.
I loved the taxi driver. Like, that was fake. That was
Dude,
they used CGI.
I was literally just about to say that. I loved.
He's not even wrong. They did use CGI.
Yeah.
Just in the movie, not.
No, I Dana was watching it with me, and she was like, "Is that like a little bit of a joke?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, it is. It's the Japanese Godzilla films, they don't use CG in the traditional sense that we use it." She goes, "Oh, that's kind of clever." Then I'm like, "Yeah, it was a good joke. It was well done by that writer to be like, I'm gonna poke fun at us."
You know
that's
who
cool.
the director is?
Yeah, it's Shackman.
Yeah, did WandaVision.
Yep.
And he's doing Fantastic Four.
Yep. Is this making you feel a little better?
I will not feel good about Fantastic Four until I finish that movie and I feel good about what I just watched.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, no. Monarch off to a good start, in my opinion.
Off to a great start. I think it's. I'm not sure if you've seen this, but I keep seeing like a try Apple TV Plus for a month for free. So if you've been, I think they're having a promo right now. Kind of, this is one of their bigger properties.
We just also had a price increase as well.
Yeah. So like,
Apple TV is worth it though.
if
It's
you
like
don't have Apple
$6.99
TV
now, right?
yet,
It's $9.99.
Is it really?
if you don't have Apple TV yet, you want to try it out. I think there are some. Also, anytime you get like a new iPhone, typically they'll like.
Or
Not
iPad
that, or
anything,
any Apple device, they'll throw in a free month of, or 2 or 3. So if you can find a way to spring for it, I think it'd be worth it for the next. I feel like it's rare we get like
Heck,
10
you could-
episode shows, and this is a fairly CGI heavy, expensive show, and we're gonna get 10 episodes of this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You can just wait till it's out. Watch this. You can watch Silo. You can watch Severance.
Mythic Quest.
All kinds of things on there and just go crazy with it.
For All Mankind.
It's a good one to just take for a
The
month.
morning show.
The morning show, yeah.
Yeah, it has.
It's got Dark Matter
freaking,
coming.
Coda.
Coda, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's
baby.
true.
I watched that again like 3 weeks ago. Made me cry my eyes out.
Dude,
Beautiful.
yeah. Yeah, and then Dark Matter will be joining it soon too, which is going to be pretty high profile for them.
It will be.
So,
Yeah.
good things,
Yeah.
good things.
Good music. Really like
Good
the music.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
When do episodes come out for that?
Wednesdays.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I think it's a good time for it.
Now that I don't really care about Disney Plus anymore.
Right. It is. It's been interesting to watch that shift. Premiere programming was almost always on Sundays,
Mhm.
even like through Game of Thrones, and I think HBO probably still tries to kind of do that.
Their
But
headliner is
so
usually
many
Sunday
other
nights,
places have moved their things to Wednesday or Friday,
Mhm.
which I think is interesting.
Got to compete with football.
That is probably the big thing. So All right, we have some news this week.
Chia.
I think you guys have the most.
So kick yours
should
off.
I kick off?
Yeah.
Universal is developing a new take on the Bourne franchise.
Oh yeah, I saw this today.
With the All Quiet on the Western Front director Edward Berger.
All right. I'm interested.
I'm interested too. I hope it's not just like another sequel kind of thing. Like I'd be more okay.
I hope it's
just,
like a reboot.
Just reboot it.
I did say they were trying to get Matt Damon. Well,
Oh, did you see that?
he hadn't signed on, but they wanted to approach him.
You don't need him. Find
Yeah.
someone new.
Get it.
There's
Start over.
plenty of other
Jimmy
great
Renner.
young actors out.
Dude, did you see the video of him that he put out of him like running since his accident?
No.
Yeah, he's actually like able to run. Thought that was kind of cool.
Good for him. That's awesome. Yeah, that's good to see he's healing back up.
But yeah,
and then,
definitely not him for another Bourne movie.
No, we don't need him for another Bourne movie for sure. Dune Part 2 is moving release again. It's coming up forward 2 weeks, March 1 instead of 14.
Just
So,
keep moving it up, baby.
yeah, if it's not January 1st, it's not,
Yeah, you
it's not
responded when
out,
I
my
sent that.
Gosh,
but that's
Werewolf.
still exciting that we're gonna
the
get.
search for Chiefsaholic.
Yeah, there's a documentary, I think, right?
Yes! Oh my gosh, I can't wait. The greatest story in sports history is Chiefsaholic. Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
But those were my two news stories. I know you guys had a few more.
Yeah, I got several. Just before we started the show, Nicholas Hoult is in talks to play Lex Luthor in Superman Legacy. And there's a lot of news stories coming out about that movie. It's moving. Seems like it's moving quickly into shooting. I think they said in March is their goal. Nicholas Hoult was one of the actors shortlisted for Superman, and I remember we were all
And
sitting
Batman.
here and Batman. Yeah, this
Yeah.
dude's missed out on big roles, and maybe he's learning that being the villain's not necessarily a bad thing. But we had kind of said, like, man, if he could get the Lex role, we'd be really happy with that.
If Gunn does it right, Lex should always be around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I just think this is awesome. I think it's a great casting for Lex, especially you know the aim at getting a little younger. I like this. I like this a lot. I think he'll be a good villain.
They casted another villain too,
They did. What was her name?
Maria Gabriella,
Yeah,
as the engineer.
as the engineer. I had kind of texted you guys a little bit about that. She is from like the Wildstorm and Stormfront stuff, which is where like Grifter and Martian Manhunter kind of were, and so I'm excited. I mean, they're kind of digging into some weirder corners of the DC pantheon, and
Sounds
I
like
think it's
something
going to be.
James Gunn.
It is very James Gunn.
Very on brand.
And I'm very excited about it. So far in this movie, we have David Cornsweet as Superman. We got Nicholas Hoult. We got, what was her name again?
Rachel Brosnahan,
We have Rachel Brosnahan, but who is the engineer?
Maria Gabriella,
Maria Gabriella, and then you have the guy NoHo Hank is Metamorpho.
and Isabel Merced is Hot Girl.
Yes. So lots of stuff happening, and the Mr. Terrific casting.
And Nathan Fillion, Green Lantern.
That's right. He's Guy, isn't he?
Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Can't just say Green Lantern.
So
There's too many.
So lots of castings coming together for this thing. I'm sure we'll start seeing costume tests before too long. There's the picture of Corn Sweat with his trainer this past weekend. This thing's ramping up full speed, man. I'm getting really excited about this movie.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see kind of some set photos and things like that to come out. Another Superman-esque character, Stephen Ewan's role in the Thunderbolts movie has been revealed as Sentry by Robert Kirkman. So somebody,
Thanks, Bob.
thanks. They were talking behind the scenes, probably talking Invincible, and Stephen let it slip, probably thinking it was safe, and Robert Kirkman just blasted that into the sun. So that's cool, I guess. I'm curious to see how that will turn out.
Yeah.
We also got the last casting news I have. Pedro Pascal cast to play Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie.
How confirmed is that?
I thought it was pretty firm.
There's not a press release out.
Marvel hasn't said.
Marvel hasn't
Yeah.
said it. Okay.
And Shackman hasn't said.
Yeah.
But like Rotten Tomatoes and
Forbes,
Enough
the
people
Hollywood
are
Reporter,
reporting on it.
Like IGN
It just
and-
feels like
Deadline. Like there's a lot.
I thoroughly enjoy Pedro.
Me too.
I don't think this is the right role for him.
Agreed.
And I know, I think both of you are more like, we'd love to see him as Doctor Doom.
No.
Oh, I was talking with someone about that.
Yeah, it wasn't us.
It must have not been you. But, yeah.
We did say, I saw Boss Logic said, like, maybe they got it mixed up and he's actually playing Doom. We did say that.
Maybe that. But in any case, it just really feels like they're getting him because
They're going after a name.
Which concerns me.
They
It's
want
not
money.
even just a name. It's a name in-house that they've worked with for the past 4 years on Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
He has Emmy buzz, and he's somebody everybody likes right now.
Yeah.
They feel like they can make money off
When
of
we
it.
were talking about it, I said it was safe.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Rahul Kohli was right there.
Yeah.
I think that's my personal best fan casting ever. I think that's spot on. And
Would be fantastic.
I think he'd be really good.
although I do love my fan cast for Doctor Doom as well.
Who'd you say?
A voice actor.
Oh yeah, you said cast somebody for physical and then just voice it.
Oh,
Yeah.
just any, not
I'm just
not
saying-
any voice actor, but like choose a voice actor.
Well, just even
You
just
didn't
cast
have-
somebody for
You
the
didn't
voice.
have one in mind.
Yeah, I don't.
I
Like,
gotcha.
Darth Vader is one of the best villains of all time.
Yeah. Yep.
2 actors.
Yep.
Hugo Weaving, V. 2 actors. Mandalorian. 2 actors. Like, it's been done multiple times.
Like 6 actors.
And Doom wears armor. We shouldn't see his face ever.
Yep.
So just give me a dynamic voice actor
Yeah.
that can carry that and let somebody who knows how to move well do that side.
I don't disagree.
I think
that's-
that would work.
I don't want to see. Oh, they're gonna cast somebody like maybe it is Pedro Pascal, and then I saw Mads Mikkelsen, and I was
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah, I saw that today.
Another
too, yeah.
safe somebody that's already in the MCU. And it's like if they do that, they're doing it because it's their face.
Yeah.
And I will not be nervous until it's out and done. They've already struck out 3 times. So new batter's up.
Let's say new inning. You never know.
Might be a pop fly, big swing, pop fly, out. Who knows?
I think based on this casting, it's not much of a big swing at this
Well, I mean, it's 1 of 5, so.
Well,
The 4 family members and then Doom.
well, the
And 2 kids. So 1 of
the
7.
first 2 names we have are Mads Mikkelsen and Pedro Pascal. So I don't think they're taking huge swings. I think they're playing it
Unfortunately.
safe.
Yeah.
Probably just trying to lay down a bunt and bet on the Fantastic Four name.
Oh.
My last movie news story is that Chris Pine has said that rumors behind the scenes are they're gonna get a Dungeons and Dragons sequel.
Dope.
So I'm excited for that.
Good.
I think that's
That movie
encouraging.
deserves a sequel.
Agreed. I would love it.
Such a great movie.
I would love it. Hopefully it's the same directing pair too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Get
I
that
hope,
team back.
hope they'd come back for it and do it again. So, and then I have 2 video game stories. So if you have more movie news, drop it.
I got a couple of movie things. Kind of going back to DC. It was announced who was writing Supergirl, Win of Tomorrow, and it's the same person that was writing Supergirl when it was still part of.
Oh yeah.
Like
The
being a
DC
Flash spinoff.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say her last name, but Anna Noguera.
Noguera.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
I-
she apparently signed like an overall writing deal with DC too
Yeah.
on the heels of this.
Oh.
So this is awesome.
So they must
James
like
mu-
what
James
she's
must
been
like her,
coming
yeah.
up with. I mean,
Yeah,
they've been working
apparently-
with her for a while.
Yeah, apparently Gunn liked what she was doing for the Sasha Calle Supergirl movie and decided let's keep her.
I'm curious where that leads into casting Supergirl.
Yeah, you
too.
had kind of
Yeah.
mentioned that.
If they'll keep Sasha
Sasha Calle.
Cal and or if they'll just be like,
Feel
actually,
free.
new universe, let's cast somebody else. And I'm literally good with whatever.
I'm good either way on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd agree.
The next story I have
I'm just very
back
excited for
to
that movie.
Yeah.
back to Marvel is Destin Daniel Cretton is no longer directing Avengers Kang Dynasty.
King Dynasty is dead.
Yeah, that thing is done for.
And they haven't said it yet, But
There's so much stuff coming out about that.
it's dead.
That they're pivoting to Doom and all this stuff.
If they do that, then Marvel's dead, because that is such an act of desperation. They have no idea what they're doing. You just don't do Doctor Doom. That needs as much lead up as like Thanos had.
The only thing I can think of is all of Kang's stuff was written so heavily for Jonathan Majors that if they're recasting him, they have to rewrite it. And at that point, maybe it's getting delayed and they're just, commitments with directors and creative teams can be
Freed up to do
other things, or they may not want to wait another 2 years to get this thing kind of off the ground, or they may not want to rush into it. I don't know who, where this falls in the greater possibilities of that, but and I agree that stick with Kang, just recast them.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Lakeith Stanfield's right there, right?
Heck yes.
Lakeith for anything, man.
Heck yes.
He's right there. Just pay him.
Cast him in anything.
Dustin Daniel Cretton, though, is going to focus back on Shang-Chi 2.
Cool.
Oh,
Which
fantastic. Great.
I'm on board with
yeah.
that.
Yep.
Then the last thing...
to me, that screams time issues.
Yeah.
If he's already got something else lined up that he's more excited, like if that working on Kang stuff further is going to delay that, and he's not going to be able to work on Shang-Chi too, and he really wants that, let him have it.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I have is Michael B. Jordan is going to return to direct Creed 4.
I'm on board.
Let's go.
Great decision.
Creed 3 is like my third favorite movie of the year, second favorite movie of the year.
That came out this year?
Yeah.
Came out like March, didn't it?
Yeah.
I need to go
February,
look at
March,
my movie
somewhere in
list
that.
now.
Yeah.
I thought that came out last year. Holy moly.
Yeah, that was this year, big dog.
I'm gonna be hunting that in the Blu-ray bin this weekend.
Me too, dude.
It's number 13 for me.
My last two news stories here, some video game news. Housemarque, the studio who made Returnal and other games. Harry Kruger is leaving the studio after 14 years. He was the game director there. No reason was cited, but they posted a nice farewell for him.
Yeah.
So not sure if it's creative differences or just wanting to go seek
new.
some different opportunities or what
Is
it is.
it hard for him to get jobs because of his brother, Freddie?
Maybe. I think it'll be harder for him to find jobs because they were an arcade company, like literal arcade cabinets kind of games, except for Returnal and a few others. But
I mean, retro is always cool. There's always a little niche for it. So
for sure. And then the other thing, it leaked, but then was confirmed: the Last of Us Part 2 remake coming out in January, I believe.
Yeah. That sounds right.
So, and I guess
middle January.
This was a team of like the new employees at Naughty Dog, and the legacy employees are working on whatever their new IP is.
I would just say don't buy it until it's actually out and people have said whether it's actually good.
Yeah, it's coming with a new mode.
Especially on like PC.
Yeah, no joke.
Naughty Dog has had trouble with PC.
Yeah, apparently there's like a roguelite mode in this and some other stuff.
Extra missions too. They're like deleted
cut,
scenes almost.
Cut missions,
Yeah.
and then there's like free play of the guitar, I guess. So there's
people can play some wild stuff on the guitar and
I remember Blink-182's frontman was playing his own stuff on there.
It's so cool.
Oh my gosh.
The best part about this though is that if you already own it on PS4, you only have to pay $10 for the upgrade.
Yep.
Honestly, thank you, because I was not going to get this.
That's learning from previous mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
yes, it is.
So the fact that I only have to pay $10 is like, oh, I might actually try it.
Yeah.
Then.
Well, and I still haven't played it yet, so
I won't try the roguelite version. What am I?
bad at video games.
I'm bad at video games.
Yeah, I'm curious what that is and how that plays. I assume it's just you play it until you die.
I won't make it through the first level.
Yeah, I think I'll. I don't know if I'll buy the remake, but I'm definitely probably gonna play it when it's back in the zeitgeist again, since I'm kind of waiting.
Yeah.
So, no, it's fine.
Ring, ding, ding, ding,
I
ding.
don't know that this necessarily needed a remake, but based on what Luke's told me about how the
every
looks and stuff.
Naughty Dog release has to have a remaster and a remake.
That's true.
So The
true.
remake will come out
3 years.
probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Nice. That's the end of my news stories.
Nice. Cycle.
Actually, no. It'll come out probably 1 year after whatever their next game is.
Whatever this new IP is.
Yeah. Sure.
Apparently, the thing I saw, somebody was talking to some reporter and said it's a sci-fi thing. Don't know if that's true.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sci-fi's kind of hot right now, so
Finally.
yeah, we waited a time.
All these people woke up, realized sci-fi is cool.
Oh my goodness! All right, well, real quick, we'll do some weekly update stuff. Since we didn't get around to it last week, Tyler and I have not done this together, but we've both done this. We've been playing the new Halo Infinite season.
Oh, I totally forgot I did that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 5?
Five. Yeah. And the Halo refueled Halo 3
Halo
anniversary
3
stuff.
maps are awesome.
They're really good.
They're so good.
It's so fun to jump back into those, and it just feels.
They feel right, and all of them have like minor adjustments.
They're made in Forge.
They're made in Forge.
Yeah.
But they have minor like I'm thinking like Guardian specifically has some like slightly different paths.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make that flow of combat, I think, feel a little better for Halo Infinite.
Yeah, for that new movement.
Stuff. I think the pit is probably the most similar to
probably
what it was
based on what I can remember.
Yeah, but they're all really great. The game feels great. It's kind of their new season model. It's a smaller battle pass. Same amount of content. They've just bundled some of the things together.
Mm-hmm.
Battle pass.
And their event pass is structured different this time as well. It's a longer event timeline, but if you don't, and it's a free event with the option to purchase it and save it for later, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Later.
I haven't done that.
I haven't bought it either.
It doesn't seem worth 500 credits.
No.
But we'll see how
much is credits?
Feedback.
Like how in
It's
Silver and Destiny is like
Destiny.
$1. It's about
It's
$1 per
close.
100.
It's like $10 is 1,000.
Yeah, it's close.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate how we
overcomplicate it
can't
too
just
much.
just show me the actual monetary value.
Just like
Yeah.
this is $10.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's because you'll know exactly how much it is.
Yep.
And because you have to buy certain amounts of the
Tiers.
in-game currency.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to spend $20 or $10 to get this amount, and then you have left over, and it's like, well, how am I going to use this? Well, I guess I'll get more so I can get this, and then you keep spending. That's how they get you, man.
That's how
That's
they
how
get you.
ya.
Yeah, no, I think the Halo update's great though. It's kind of a travesty that this didn't get an ongoing nomination. I think Halo,
for Game Awards.
for all the fear we had when Staten left, Halo is in a really good place. It feels good to play. The maps that they've added in are great. I saw a thing the other day. This game has like over 65 maps in it.
Yeah.
That's insane. In
And-
a world where we get Call of Duties that release with 9 maps at launch, like 65. Like they've done so much for this game. They've done such a good job with modes.
The MP team does a really good
They
job
do
of
so
rotating in
good.
modes and maps, keeping things feeling fresh.
Right. The challenges for the week are very attainable.
Yep.
You can switch them out pretty much after you've done a few battle pass levels. You can switch them out pretty easily.
Yep.
Like, man, it's just Halo's. I'm glad to see Halo's getting its praise and its flowers now, because it was pretty dire there for a bit.
It was. I will also say that we've talked a lot about multiplayer, but the Forge stuff has been so impressive. There have been people who have recreated the entire Silent Cartographer
Yeah,
mission.
I saw that. Yeah.
Great mission.
There's like a firefight
Yeah.
mode in. I mean, it's within
Forge,
Forge,
yeah.
but like there's a
I mean,
firefight mode.
Why do it yourself when you can have everybody else do it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a legit battle royale mode that they built in in Forge that has a closing ring and random weapon drops and
So cool.
armor upgrade kind of things. Like it's super. Forge has just been this incredible game changing tool, and I think as we go forward, as much as I'm disappointed that we're not getting more campaign content, I think this is gonna allow Halo Infinite to persist kind of through what ended up being a false start for the storyline.
That's a 5-yard penalty.
and continue to allow that studio to exist, and rethink what should a Halo campaign be.
Boy, that Activision acquisition scared 343 into business. They're like, they're gonna put Call of Duty devs on this. We can't let this happen. We gotta fix this.
We gotta fix it now.
Yeah, they've done great, and I hope more people will jump back into this game and play it because it's worth it. And they released the Halo Refueled with the game fuel came back.
Yeah.
I hadn't had a soda since March. I actually went and bought one and had one. Yeah. It was really cool, man. I felt like a kid again jumping into that. And those are the feelings you can't really replace. Nope. So it was awesome.
Great. We need to play together.
We do need to jump together, yeah, for sure.
The only other thing that I really did this week was my wife and I finished up watching Loki season 2. I've kind of hinted at a little bit how much of a mess that this season has been. That said, they wrap it up really well.
Nice.
This is one of those weird things where I didn't care much about the season, but that final episode, good, great, maybe.
Should I just watch the final episode then, or should I watch the whole season? Is it worth it?
It's 6 episodes, right?
It's 6 episodes.
Okay.
It's short. I mean, it feels short. I think that you could probably watch the first 2 episodes and then the final episode, and you'd probably get it.
I'll probably just watch the whole thing.
Look, the whole thing's not, and I wonder if on a rewatch I would appreciate things a little more. They do a little too much to kind of explain or not explain some of the mechanics of how things work in the TVA, which is a place that exists outside of time and space. And it gets really confusing, and then they just break all those rules. But once you're like, okay, the rules don't matter, it's fine. Because then you're not focused on that. Maybe if I could have just ignored the rules from the start, I would have been a little happier with it. But it does
set rules and not.
It does a really good job of rounding out Loki as a character, giving him a place within kind of the original MCU cast as okay, he's had his moment now. This is who Loki.
This was where his arc was.
This is where his arc was headed, right? And it's pretty, admittedly, pretty neat. At the end of the day, I think I give it a really low fanboy worthy. And some of those episodes I think are a little harder to get through. But I did enjoy the final episode. I mean, again, as much junk as we've talked about with Jonathan Majors, he's good in the role that he plays in this. He kind of plays...
Does he get beat up by spiders in this one? I mean, ants?
By ants? No ants in this one.
So maybe some flies or a mosquito?
I don't know.
That was so stupid.
No, the show gets, in the final couple episodes, it kind of gets back to the team of Loki season 1, right? Who was trying to, Sylvie's back. We have the TVA members of, Renslayer, and I think Renslayer is probably underserved, and I don't really understand what they were doing with her in this show. There's a few characters that are definitely still underutilized, but Owen Wilson and wow, his stuff's pretty good. They kind of get that glimpse at what they were hinting at in season 1, which is you have spoilers, I guess, if you haven't seen season 1. You have a life outside of this. There's a timeline that you've been plucked from.
Can I ask a question? And it's a spoiler.
Sure.
And you can say the answer because I don't care enough.
Wait, did you guys finish Loki season 1?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a spoiler for season 2.
Gotcha.
Does Mobius get a ride at jet ski?
Yeah.
So yes.
Let's go! I'm back, baby! I'm watching it now. You convinced me.
So yeah, I'll give it a fanboy worthy. It's a fairly low fanboy worthy. It's not one that I'd probably like. Yeah, you have to go rush and watch it. I don't think it's gonna have huge implications, or even the MCU. And
That's
like
what they
that
want you to
Kang
think.
Dynasty, but it's again the end is definitely pretty cool. And if you're kind of like an OG MCU viewer like we are, right? Like we came up with those movies as they're coming out, like this new generation. I'm
Bunch of
joking.
fake
I'm joking. I'm
fans.
joking. It's cool to get to see another. After Endgame, it was like, okay, I feel like we're kind of rounding out these stories for these characters. We're giving them the conclusions, except for Thor, which is apparently just going on.
Thor 5, baby.
And so it's cool to see Loki have that opportunity to, give him an ending of sorts.
Nice. What else?
That's all I did.
Oh, nice.
That's all I did that I'm going to talk about.
Whoa, secret.
Well, I will very quickly just say, played Halo. Played Alan Wake 2. I know Luke's gonna talk about Alan Wake 2.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll talk about Alan Wake 2. I will not talk about the story or anything. I'm just going to talk about my impressions about how it made me feel. Great game. But really whimpered at the end.
Oh.
The last couple missions are extremely short. I think one of them took me 3 minutes.
Wow.
And like I started it. I mean, okay, me actually playing. It's a very long cutscene.
Oh, sure.
It starts. You go to a place. It's end of part. It's like.
There are moments like that early in the game too, where
Yeah.
like you'll do something and it's like end of part. I'm like, oh, whoa.
And I thought the way they wrap it up was pretty boring, and they're kind of just setting up Alan Wake 3, and it's like, okay, I paid $60 for this game. Thank you for giving no closure.
Oh.
And you could kind of just tell they're leaning into the Remedy universe.
Mm.
Control 2 will probably be next,
Mm-hmm.
then Alan Wake 3, and
Whatever else they decide.
Quantum Break 2 to do Avengers stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a great game, and I loved my time playing it. But it really did leave an unfortunate taste in my mouth at the end, just because, like, you go through all this wild stuff, and then you get to the last, like, 2 missions, and it's just like, we're done. It's like, what? There's a post-credit scene, so don't skip the credits. I don't know. I'm always afraid if I skip the credits, it'll bug out and just skip everything, so I always watch all the credits forever.
Yeah, game credits are insane. They're insane.
Yeah, the scene is actually like after like the main credits. It's a mid-credit scene.
Nice.
So, that was cool, but yeah, I give it a fanboy worthy. And I thought it was gonna be my number 2 game of the year, but it didn't overtake Remnant 2, which was just an absolute blast.
Just because of the ending, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You played Alan Wake 1, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I started it.
I will say that the ending to Alan Wake 1, there's a reason people were pounding the table for a sequel. Me being one of them. The ending of Alan Wake 1 is very like, this isn't done.
Yeah, and like, I don't mind if you allude to things to come, but
complete your story.
you have to complete something.
Yeah.
There's just only questions and no answers.
Mm.
Like, even for every side character, you're just like, why were they there? Who was that? And it's just no answers, and it just feels like they're like, you know what? We know that we're gonna make Alan Wake 3. We know people are gonna buy it. So let's just kind of get through this and move on to the next game. Just kind of really frustrating way to end. But it's still an amazing game. I still highly recommend people play it. I thought the stuff with Saga was so good. I loved her little detective mystery stuff going on. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I think Saga stuff, just to chime in, and chat a little bit about Alan Wake 2. For background, I was an Alan Wake 1, like, truth, or I think it's one of the best games I've ever played. The story was great, and I remember beating that game in 2010, I think it was. We were at Tabor when I beat it, and I remember being like, man, I hope I get a sequel. And like 4 years passed, and we never got any announcements, and I was like, it's dead.
It
like,
probably didn't make any money.
I was like, it's just never gonna happen. And so when they announced it again, I was really excited. It comes out. I was nervous about reviews. It's good, right? Reviews are good, and I'm like, oh, cool. So I get it, I'm playing it, and I'm with you. I think Saga stuff is very interesting. I was a little apprehensive about having a new character to play in the Alan Wake series, and by the end of it, like, not even by the end of it, but within like the first hour and a half, I was like, it makes sense that an author is telling a story and you're playing as that character.
Yeah.
It just works. Like, it works so well. And I think the story that Alan is writing is much more interesting than the story that Alan is living. I would agree with that. I also would say Saga stuff is scarier.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
and I saw reviews.
You're walking through the forest and you're just like, I need to find the light so I can just rest for a little
it's
bit.
just, yeah. And like, I saw a lot of reviews say that Alan Wake's parts were scarier in this game, and I just could not disagree with that more. Like,
Yeah, I completely agree.
Walking through the forest with Saga, like, the tension is
Did they play?
insane.
Did they play the nursing home section? Oh my gosh, there was a bit in that got me so bad.
I'm very excited to play it.
It is not a jump scare whatsoever, and just when it happens, I was just like, oh my gosh, no. Oh.
There are bits in the game that will make your skin crawl.
Yeah.
I would say. I think I'm so glad this is third person, because in first person, I don't know if I could beat it. I don't think I could play it. Third person, I can do it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's really not that scary.
I mean, I'm not wearing headphones just because I know that would be too much.
Dude, the sound is crazy in this game, but
This game should win best audio or whatever. It's so good.
I think it will. I hadn't thought about audio, but I told you I think it'll win game direction too.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sam Lake is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's really good at what he does, and I think I think what will win it for him is the overarching vision that they're clearly setting up.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of Control was the introduction. This is the linchpin.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we are doing something that we've not really seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that will be what gets it for me.
Yeah. Love Control. That game's a booyah.
Yeah. I'm glad you got to beat it though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really, like, I think I texted you this. I'm really glad you gave it a shot, especially not playing the first one, because I think.
And I don't think you need to play the first one.
I don't
honestly.
think so either. They fill you in pretty easily.
Yeah,
it picks up right where that one lives.
It's just like, oh, I was here before. I had to save my wife. Cool, got it. Good.
And
the lake is evil.
I did it, and I failed miserably. I failed upwards. So cool. I hope to beat it this week and talk about it.
Me too. Mainly so I can talk spoiler stuff.
Yeah.
But I did play another game though, and actually, I think this is above Alan Wake 2 as well. And this game is completely different in every way. I played the game Jusant.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
Remember when this was at that Xbox thing? I was fired up for it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's awesome. It's so good.
This game, you play as a person, and you're climbing a giant mountain with a little frog thing, and that's it. There's not really a story.
There's some poetry.
Yeah, and I didn't really read everything. I read the Bianca stuff. I didn't really read the Blackboard. There's a lot of reading. Some of it are so long. But like, you pick up some shells and you like get echoes of what this place was like before it was abandoned, and it's one of the most soothing things I've ever experienced.
Very relaxing play.
It's so simple. You walk up to the path you're supposed to take, and you hit L or R, and those are your arms.
I love the climbing patterns.
It's honestly really fun once you get a rhythm down. You just like.
Yeah, you can go super fast. It's awesome.
Yeah, and like it automatically belays you in.
Yep.
I don't think you can die.
Probably not.
I never actually fail this game. It's not hard whatsoever.
It's the definition of a cozy game. Bad at video games.
I'm bad at video games. And this game was so easy, and I loved that about it.
It is 2AT.
You just climb, there's objectives. You don't even have to get
Nope, just get to
get
the
them.
top.
You just have to blow the horn 5 times. Don't clip that.
Baroque, you know what you need to do.
But yeah, it took me less than 5 hours to beat.
Yeah.
And the greatest thing about it is the soundtrack. Just it makes you feel so good. And I beat the game and I was like, I think I should just play this again. I didn't, but I didn't uninstall it because I was like, I'm probably gonna play this again over the week. It's because
It's
it
the
feels
definition.
so
It's
good.
the definition of a cozy game.
It's such a heartwarming
yeah.
game. It's by Don't Nod, who made Life is Strange, right?
I think so. I think that's right.
Which is like, I think they're like super dialogue heavy games.
Very.
There's 0 talking in this game. I think your character goes, if you fall a little too hard.
Yeah. Life is Strange by them, yeah.
If you have Game Pass, please download this game.
Yeah, it's worth it.
It is incredible.
I think I've played like just under an hour of it because that's when Alan Wake.
That's like half the game.
Yeah. But I was having a blast, man. Just kind of running around and climbing.
And I've been listening to the soundtrack a lot. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yep. Dude, I'm glad. Is it a booyah?
It's a That's an easy booyah. Play it and then keep it and then play it some more.
Nice.
The last thing that I did was I finally got around to finishing Dragon Prince Season 5. Seasons 1 through 3 are incredible. I think they're all booyahs. Season 4 was a big step down. I remember giving it to Matthew McConaughey. It felt different. Dog is whimpering out.
You're hearing us get loud.
Concerned.
Yeah, Season 4 was rough. It was really disappointing. But I thought Season 5 was a step back in the right direction. I wasn't annoyed as much with all the characters. It felt like they had a set goal and mission and they were doing it. We're actually going on this journey, whereas like Season 4 was like, felt just like we were doing random things almost. Claudia's still annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That may not ever change.
But Viren, the main bad guy.
Yep.
I thought his stuff was awesome.
Nice.
So I think this season is a fanboy worthy, and hopefully
Nice.
they can keep that trajectory because the show was, when it was at its peak, it was just so good.
I started watching that Season 1 with Claire because it's fall break.
So good.
So it was fun to kind of hop back in, and
Yeah.
I figured I would just kind of watch all the way through at this point, get through 4 and 5, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was watching Season 4 with Bryn.
Dude, this show's rated TV Youth 7, and there's like some pretty intense violence in Season 5 where like animals are like biting into creatures and blood is just coming out. It's just like, wow. That was kind of intense.
Dude, side note. So Nickelodeon does they have the Ninja Turtle cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
And they made a movie, not like Mutant Mayhem, but they made like their own movie. And I turned it on because Bryn was like, turtles. And I was like, okay, we can watch a little Ninja Turtles. That's fine.
And it was like Blue Eye Samurai.
There was cussing in the first 3 minutes, and there was blood. And I was like...
One of them was like, you Raphael.
I was like, what is this? I was like, what? I thought this was a kid's movie. So I turned it off. I was like, we're not watching this. We're watching the weird CG animated one.
You're like, oops, it paused. Let me restart it.
I wish Mutant Mayhem would just
Throw
come
on
out.
the like 20.
When does Mutant
2004
Mayhem
show.
come out?
I
Sorry.
think it is out.
That's got to be out soon if it's not already, yeah. But
I wanted to start part 1 of The Crown,
December
but I didn't
12th
get to it.
is when it comes out to Blu-ray.
couple weeks.
Need that so I can watch Ninja Turtles and not feel like my kid is in danger of seeing Shredder maim a turtle. I was like, what the heck, dude? Okay.
Hopefully I'll have The Crown finished, or at least part 1, because the rest
Are they
doesn't come
doing
out
2
till
parts?
December.
I'm doing that, yeah.
I'll have that
Split
ready
it
to go
up.
next week.
For those people who drop services between seasons of things.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Or they
Or
could
like-
just do a weekly release,
Like every other streamer at this point.
like every normal TV show ever. Listen, the binge method was fun while it lasted. I had a great time. just discovering Stranger Things back in like 2015. Nobody had told me about it. I was like, this looks kind of cool. Changed my life, man.
Dude, I remember you coming to my
I was like,
I was living with
dude.
Ian. I was living with Ian. Luke's like, I'm coming over, and I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Like, we're watching Stranger Things. We sit down, and I think we watched like the first 4 episodes. And I don't binge stuff. And I was like, yo, you coming over tomorrow? We're gonna watch more.
Dude, it was life-changing.
And it's kind of our thing we still do. Like every
Yeah.
time it releases, we get together and we just binge it. It's great.
We'll do it again when season 5 comes out in like 8 years. When all the kids
Yeah,
are like
right.
40 years old.
Bill Hader's just gonna play Finn Wolfhard again.
I mean, what do you do in 11?
Oh,
And a
my
weekly, it
goodness.
looks like Baroque beat FF7 Remake again. I agree, that game is fantastic. We kind of talked a little bit about it because I had talked about in my review the Whispers boss fight right before the final boss fight is just awful. We agree, it's terrible. It's such a bad fight. And like if you die, you start the whole thing over. There's no checkpoints, and it's like a 3-tiered fight. So it's really annoying. But Baroque, I'm gonna play Intergrade soon as Remake's getting ready to come out, or Rebirth's getting ready to come out. So we'll have to chat about it. Is that wrapping us up?
That's wrapping us up.
Hey yo.
We didn't get any fanbox questions.
I didn't ask for any tonight. Sorry, guys. You can
Chat.
always
Fanbox
message
question.
us
Quick.
fanbox questions on the social media platform that's dying.
Fanbox question.
Find
If
us on
you-
Threads, right?
You can find us on Threads.
If you have a bunk bed, do you stack the beds or do you do the L-shaped catty corner type thing?
stack,
Stack them.
I don't want to get jumped down on. Like,
Bunk beds are all about saving space.
yeah, you're not saving any space if you're L.
If you make them an L, the platform, the footprint's way too big.
But you can spring off the bed into the bunk bed or jump down into the other bed.
Yeah, and get crushed if I'm in the lower bed.
Yeah, that sounds
I don't want
bad.
to be crushed.
Sounds like one person wins in all.
I
of
think
it.
you should get good at sleeping, like kind of like Tyler. He's
Get
waking up
good,
at
bro.
4:30 in the morning. And
Indeed. And apparently, I'm always tired.
yeah, wrangling those kids.
It's the bags. It's the bags under the eyes,
gotta
Tyler.
be.
I'm
It's got to be.
here for you. Unlike Jim. Screw
I
that guy.
sleep great, man.
Screw that guy.
Jim can suck it.
Jim's my friend, guys.
Well, our fans are our friends. Oh, I tried to do a segue. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Actually, not sure. We may or may not see you next week, but we'll be back soon. I promise that.
Indeed.
Okay, bye.
See you later.